Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a minute since I've posted. This video will explain the reasons why. Let's get into it. So, as you may have seen from the title, my pug has given birth. Basically, this is my story time about what happened, what that was, how it happened, all of that things, and why it was so extremely stressful for me. So basically, here's what happened. Raisin was starting to get really fat, and we didn't know why. We thought she was just eating a lot and not getting a lot of exercise since we were in quarantine. So like that's around when she started to get bigger, and that it was becoming more noticeable. So we were like, what the heck, Raisin's getting really fat, why? So we started to feed her a bit less food, but the thing is she wasn't interested in eating, so we were so confused how she was getting fat when she didn't even want to eat her food. So then we thought, oh, maybe it's that she doesn't want to eat her dog food and she's getting more picky and she wants to eat like wet food. And we were like, what the heck? Anyway, so that wasn't the case because she just kept getting fatter and fatter and she still wasn't eating. Finally, she started eating normally and we were like, oh, great. So she's out of this phase where she didn't want to eat. And that was just like a relief, right? You know, because, okay, our dog isn't sick or anything, or if she was sick, then she got over it, right? But then, this is when it got weird. Her nipples were growing. Like she was clearly pregnant, clearly. But we were all in denial. We were like, no, that's impossible. Like, Raisin and Buster are never together. How could Raisin get pregnant from him? Like, it's not possible, right? We're wrong, and Raisin was pregnant. Now, we weren't ready to have more than 2 dogs. Like, we already have 2 and it's already a struggle, right? Because Buster, like, he's kind of playful and he's a puppy still. So that's just like adding another puppy to the mix is just difficult. But still, we're happy that we have him. So anyway, we decided to take Raisin to the vet about a week later just to check up on her to see like if she is really pregnant or if something else is wrong. So we took her to the vet and the vet was like, according to the ultrasound, your dog will give birth within the next 5 days. If that doesn't happen, come back. And as you can imagine, we were like, what the heck? In 5 days, we're not prepared for her to give birth in 5 days. We did like a ton of research and we were like searching how many puppies do pugs usually have, all of this type of stuff. So in the ultrasound, it showed that she was having 2 puppies. Super cute. Anyway, so we were really excited but also kind of nervous because, you know, what does it mean? She's having puppies. Can she give birth at home? A lot of times pugs have complications, and the vet was like, oh, it looks like she'll be able to have birth at home. If there's any problems, here's the number of a 24-hour vet plus our vet, so you can just come by if there are problems. Anyway, so the week that those 5 days that we were like kind of waiting for her to give birth, right? Over the past week and a half, basically. And waiting. She started to go into labor about like on day 3. And she gave birth to all of the puppies on the evening of day 4 of those 5 days. So yeah, the labor was really long because it started in the morning of day 4, which was when I was supposed to post a new video, but it didn't happen. Anyway, so Raisin went into labor and she had a really hard time. The first puppy, like, Raisin was whining. She was whining, crying. She was in a lot of pain. She didn't like it at all. She was really uncomfortable, and we just overall felt bad for her. Like, we had set up a cute area for her that was clean, that she could give birth to the puppies and that we could still monitor her. Anyways, by the time the labor was over, it took a really long time for the first baby to come out. So when he did come out, he wasn't breathing and even though Raisin was licking his face, cleaning him, like all of that type of stuff, he wasn't taking a breath. So we were really nervous. So what we did was we took him and we started doing CPR like we had researched and known. We contacted the vet. We were trying to revive him, but sadly it didn't happen. It didn't work. So the first puppy didn't make it. And the vet just said like, okay, the puppies are born within 45 minutes to an hour of each other. Sometimes it pushes to 2 hours. So we're like, okay, so let's wait. So then 2 hours passed and Raisin was still sleeping. She went to sleep right after the first puppy was born. She was exhausted from it. And like, she wasn't giving birth to the other puppy. She wasn't going into like labor or anything or pushing. The puppy just wasn't coming out, and we were nervous because it had been like 2.5 hours and still nothing. So we contacted the vet and they were like, okay, bring her over, we'll monitor her. Anyway, on our way to the car, Raisin suddenly went into labor and like half the sac that the baby is surrounded in was out, but the baby wasn't. So it wasn't like the head was out with the sac, which is how it's normally supposed to be. It was just like the sac and liquid inside, and we were like, what the heck was the baby? So then we rushed her to the hospital, or to the vet, and when we got there, they were like, okay, and the vet that worked there was in the bathroom, and all of the nurses were like, we don't know what to do, what the heck? And so then finally the doctor comes out of the bathroom and we're like, our dog is giving birth over here, where have you been? And so then like she comes and she starts monitoring and examining Raisin, and she tries to help the sac come out, but in doing so it popped. Now I am really emotional and get really stressed out easily, and in stressful situations I cry, so I was like bawling my eyes out at this point, and I was alone at the vet. Like my dad had left already and my mom was at home and my siblings were all at home. So I like call my mom and I'm like crying. I'm like, Mom, Raisin might die. She needs to get a C-section and the other baby might die too. The sac popped. Anyway, so that's what I was like, and that was really dramatic. And apparently my sister heard me on the phone when I was talking to my mom, because I was talking really loudly apparently. But I was really emotional. I couldn't control anything. Anyway, so then my sister started freaking out. She's more emotional than I am. And yeah, my mom was like, okay, I'm coming to the vet to give you support for the puppy. So my mom comes, she arrives, and my dad comes back too. So we're like all three of us at the vet. So basically what they did was they gave Raisin an ultrasound after the sac popped, and they were like, the baby's heartbeat is really, really small. So she's going to need to get a C-section, and his head is too big to fit through. So she needs a C-section to be able to deliver the baby and for the baby to survive. And I was like, okay, fine. And I had to sign all of these papers that I didn't even understand fully. So like, yeah, stressful. And then basically what happened was I went in and signed all the papers. They took Raisin for some testing. They had to test like her liver function and her blood work and like a bunch of other things to make sure that she could actually have the surgery, which took like 20 minutes. And during that whole time I was stressing out, like, what if the baby doesn't have 20 minutes? The heartbeat is really slow, as we saw on the ultrasound. The first one already died. Like, what do we do? So I was freaking out. And I was like, in my entire head, I was just thinking, oh my god, if Raisin dies from this, I'm just like, yeah. The baby was delivered and I got to see it. He was super cute. Yeah, they said that if he is eating properly and everything like that, that he should be fine and able to survive. And then Raisin came out about 20 minutes after the baby. They had clothes and everything. She was really wound up on the anesthetics that they gave her, so she was looking funny and she was not balanced and her tongue was out and her eyes were all like cross-eyed and everything. It was hilarious. But I felt bad for her because like, no dog should have to go through this, okay? You're gonna be okay. It's okay, puppy. You're gonna be okay. No. Anyway, so yeah, she went through that whole experience. It was traumatizing for me and for Raisin. She hates the vet now, like she doesn't want to go there. Once they were done, they gave her some medicine. Once the drugs were out of her system, the baby could go feed, and he like immediately was like, okay, I know what to do, and he fed, and it was great. That means that he's going to be strong and healthy. He's still feeding really well, which is really great, and we're very happy. Raisin did, for the first 2 days after surgery, need to go back to get infusions at the vet, which took around an hour, and then just yesterday she was able to get the okay to take oral tablets at home of antibiotics. Raisin, your baby likes to drink milk. Look at Raisin's face. It's like, I did not sign up for this. So she needs to take half a pill in the morning and half a pill at night with her breakfast and dinner. And yeah, she needs to eat chicken and take calcium tablets, plus drink goat's milk to help her produce more energy, more proteins, and also produce more milk for the baby so that he can survive. We also have to put this anti-infection spray on her stitches. She's supposed to get her stitches out in about like 5 days, hopefully. She has to wear an e-collar and she hates it. She hates it so much. Don't probably need to take the baby because the e-collar is gonna hurt and Raisin's gonna want to move.
Don't cry and freak out. Next one.
The table over here while you wrap it.
Oh yeah, like a swaddle. You place the thing down.
It's okay, Raisin. It's okay. Is she a little bit sick? Her nose has... So we take it off when we take her outside because like she's not able to sniff properly, so then she can't find the proper place to pee or poop. So yeah. And then the puppy loves to eat. He eats a lot. He's already gotten bigger over these couple days that he's been alive and with us. He still doesn't have a name. We want to wait until he's a bit bigger before we name him. So yeah. When we were at the vet, we actually, okay, so another thing, when we were at the vet, we actually learned why the first baby didn't survive. So he was actually developing in the womb without his sac. So the sac popped somewhere during Raisin's pregnancy. And so the only thing that was keeping him alive, I guess, was kind of like the umbilical cord. But that's why we could see his heartbeat on the ultrasound. But unfortunately, he passed away and was born without the sac, which was very dangerous for him. And therefore he was stillborn. So that was really sad for us. We were really like devastated since she only had 2 puppies and she went through a lot and, just to come out with one. But you know, we're still really happy with having our one little guy. He's so cute and his whines are so adorable. He's the cutest little guy. Yeah, he makes big poops though, like huge, and we have to clean him with dry shampoo because we can't get him wet yet, and also Raisin we have to clean with dry shampoo, which is just part of the struggles of having a dog who just had a C-section of a little cute little puppy. So Buster, being the dad, he also takes quite an interest in the puppy. Like here, he loves to just stare at him and like, you know, he's interested.
Buster has never been this calm.
What's happening, Buster? What's happening to the baby? So yeah, yeah guys, so that is my story time. My cute little dogs. We now have 3 of them, Buster, Raisin, and we don't know his name yet. We don't have one. Here he is. He is brand new. Look at his little tongue. Oh my goodness. He is adorable. He is a lot bigger than when he was first born. That's because he eats a lot. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. Like seriously. And he sleeps. All he does all day is sleep and eat. You should totally subscribe to my channel and put a like and a comment just for this guy. Just for him and his cuteness. Mwah. Plus, don't forget to turn on notifications so that you can see more of my videos. I post every single week, so make sure to come back. Oh my gosh, she's doing it again. So cute. Okay guys, say bye-bye. Bye-bye.